Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Codi. Welcome our guests from North Catholic High School junior diver Maggie Foley. Maggie, congratulations! 3 straight gold medals in diving. You're only the second girl in WPL history to do that, and the first in 22 years. Now, Maggie, let me ask you, what was different this year in comparison to you winning the gold your freshman year?
It was definitely a lot different considering we've had that 1 year with COVID. It was so much better to finally get back into the swing of things. My sophomore year, my parents weren't even allowed in the pool. It was just me and my coach and some of the other girls. So this year coming back, it felt a lot like normal or what I experienced my freshman year. So it was just nice and it was comfortable and familiar.
How much has your confidence level changed between that year, and of course, last year, and now coming into this third year? How much stronger was your confidence?
I definitely came into it knowing what to expect and how to, warm up some of my dives. How often should I be sitting in between my dives? I constantly have to keep moving and stay warm in between the rounds. So I think knowing how the meet would run helped me a lot, and just knowing that I need to focus on the things that I can change and the dives that I'm doing and just kind of take the meet one dive at a time also helped.
Maggie, PIAAs are coming up. Is that at Bucknell coming up soon?
Yes, it is, March 19th.
And let's see, your freshman year and last year, how did you do there? And what are your expectations for this year?
So my freshman year, we got all the way up to Bucknell and it unfortunately got canceled to COVID. So we had to turn around and come home. And then last year I was at a high school near Hershey. So I've never been to Bucknell. And, I kind of don't know what to expect just because last year, again, there were still COVID restrictions. So there were a limited number of people there. Only top 1 from each district actually made it to the PIAA meet. So, yeah, I'm kind of going into it with a blind eye, but if it's anything like Whippeals has run in the past, I think I kind of know what to expect, but, I'm still a little bit nervous. I don't really know any of the other girls just because last year there were only top 1s from districts.
Do you know what your competition is like at diving at the state level?
I mean, it's all a little different on how you would read numbers and stuff like that, just because each different district does scoring a little bit differently. So, I mean, you can't really base it off of numbers. I mean, yes, there are going to be standings on psych sheets and stuff like that, but it just kind of depends once you actually get there and you can see who you're diving with.
Maggie, do you play any other sports besides diving?
I do cheerleading, just like sideline stuff for North Catholic. And yeah, I just do diving.
And how much time people think diving, well, it's just one event, but how much time do you put in preparation year round before the season starts?
So I normally dive 5 nights a week. Now that's been kind of difficult because the University of Pittsburgh is where I normally practice. It's been closed down since the kids came back for Christmas break, I believe. So I haven't been able to dive at Pitt. I've been going to Westminster, West Virginia, sometimes all the way up to Youngstown area for my practices. So the driving definitely is difficult to get to those. So I'm practicing a bit less, but it's normally 5 practices a week, 2 to 2.5 hours each practice.
Is there any gymnastics involved in this for all the different intricacies you have involved in diving?
Yeah, so I was a gymnast competitively for 2 or 3 years before I started diving, and I was suffering from a lot of like injuries that I just was like, I had a conversation with my mom about it. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I'm gonna kill my body. So we were in between diving and maybe starting competitive cheer. And my mom's friend was like, oh, the University of Pittsburgh holds like diving classes and clinics. So my mom was like, hey, do you want to go down and try this? So that's kind of how I started off, but it definitely helps having the gymnast background.
You've committed to Pitt early.
Yes.
What was the decision in going to Pitt?
Originally, like my sophomore year, people were like, oh, like start thinking about it, like get some ideas, like some goal schools. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna go out somewhere warm, maybe like Florida, California. Don't want to be close to home. And then I like really thought about it one day. I'm like, Mom, Dad, I can't be that far away from you. Like, I love my parents, I love my family. So I felt like Pitt was a good fit for me. So if anything happens, they're just a call away.
And what will you study at Pitt?
I'm planning on going into maybe a nursing or PA track type of a program. I'm not really sure yet, though.
Maggie, like a lot of athletes that talk to football, basketball, they dream someday maybe playing Major League Baseball or the NFL and football. Do you dream someday of diving in the Olympics?
Oh, I would love to. I mean, I'm not really sure, just based on like watching the people who have been in the Olympics. It would be absolutely crazy if I was ever at that level, but it's definitely one of the goals that I strive for every day in practice. I like would sometimes come in to practice and watch some of the girls like do platform or compete 3-meter springboard, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to be one day. And that's kind of like the mindset I have going into each practice.
Maggie, finally, what motivates you?
I honestly think it is the doubt that people have had on me in the past, or people who say, oh, you can't do this, or you should probably quit while you're ahead. I feel like that really fuels my fire and kind of proving them wrong, and also kind of like, hey, I can do this, and just making sure people know that they're not going to set my limits.
Well, Maggie, good luck to you coming up in the PIAA diving championships at Bucknell. I know you're anxious to get back to class.
Oh, so excited.
And we'll see you here next year after your 4th WPL gold medal.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Armstrong has a history of being engaged in the areas where we provide service. One of these ways is through breaking bread. Food insecurity affects over 12 million children and 5 million seniors nationwide, putting them at risk for chronic health conditions. We're taking a 4-prong approach to fighting hunger by collecting donations, volunteering time, donating money, and raising awareness. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com/breakingbread to find a list of community feeding programs in your area.
I am back, joined to my right by the Swami George Abraham, to my left the Tiger Albert Campman. Everything's going on at this time, guys. But let's go to swimming. How about this? The Seneca Valley boys, they win the WPIAL 3A team title, their first championship in 47 years.
47.
47 years.
That's a nice way to do it.
Daniel Smoes won a gold medal in the 100-yard freestyle, a school record. Haiyan Zhu, the breaststroke, a school record. And the 400 freestyle relay team, they won the gold. That consisted of Smoes, Kevin Donaldson, Gavin Blazer, and Zach Lazowski. Seneca Valley piled up 335 points. NA was third with 241. So what's that tell you? How dominant they were in that meet.
Yeah, absolutely.
To pile on the over 100 points over NA. In the boys 2A team title, how close was this? First was Hampton, 232. Second, Riverside with 205. Now, I'm no swimming expert, but that seems like it was a pretty close meet.
Well, you could tell first or fourth, either way, changes the whole scoring aspect.
And boys from Elwood on that.
Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
You'll hear their name. You'll hear their names in a second.
Yeah, and North Catholic was third with 198 points. A terrific meet there in the 2A boys. 2A boys individual titles and medals. Joseph Roth, the Riverside 100 breaststroke, a WPIAL record. Roth also took first in the 50 freestyle. Brother Alexander Roth, silver in the 100 freestyle. And the 400 freestyle relay team won by Riverside, a WPL record time, the Roth brothers plus Sam Klein and Ryan Turner. Pretty good. And you wonder how they lost that meet,
Oh,
the championship, with all their individual
depth.
is
That's it.
question. Yes,
Like track, like track.
Same idea, yeah.
Same idea, the ones where you get the places, it really makes a big difference if you get
those
even
second
when you
and
don't,
thirds.
Absolutely.
And North Catholic finished second in the 400 freestyle relay. Julian LaPietra, a North Catholic, he won the bronze medal in the 100 freestyle and was part of the 400 relay team. 3A girls, North Allegheny edged out Fox Chapel 344 to 314 to win a record 14th straight WPL swim title, the most ever in a girls' sport. All-time record for all sports is 20 straight by the Bethel Park boys swim team.
Sounds like it's a legacy school thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize till we got on the show that the same teams are dominant.
Dominant.
It's
unbelievable.
Huh?
Now
when you think about it, football, same team.
Yeah.
Basketball, pretty much.
Yeah.
Baseball, every once in a while someone sneaks in, but more often than not. But the legacy things, I think I agree. The swimming and wrestling in particular.
Yes.
The uncle did, the aunt played. Next thing you know.
And I'll say this about NA. We said it before. They've won more state championships than any other school in Pennsylvania.
And that's why they've always been looking for that basketball coach.
That's the only sport they haven't won one.
They're continuing changing basketball coach because they said, wait a minute, we won everything.
They've not won a WPL basketball championship in boys
Right.
or a state. That's the only sport. And I don't know when that's going to change.
Well, they'll keep looking.
No,
They'll keep looking.
Money's not going to stop.
That's what I'm saying.
In other words, if you got credentials and they interview,
They'll pay you.
Yeah, where a lot of places, I don't know.
No, they want to win.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They want the debate team to win.
Absolutely.
You get fired as a debate coach if you don't win down there.
It's the truth.
Absolutely.
Hey, gold medalist Lexi Sundgren of North Allegheny, she took the 500 freestyle, and gold in the 100 breaststroke was Natalie Sens of North Allegheny. Bronze in the 100, Sarah Schaefer of Pine Richland. WPIAL Girls 2A swim results, gold medalist 100 butterfly was Kira Schreckengoss of Freeport, and she also took the silver in the 200 individual medley, and also picking up a silver for Freeport was Lexi Schreckengoss. I think they're sisters, maybe. See a lot of that.
You got me thinking about swimming. District 10 swims in Ohio, and that bothers me worse than anything you could. Little things get me, like playoff games at home floors.
Yeah.
And the PIA District 10 swimming match in Ohio. That bothers me. I don't understand.
I don't understand it. Someone will have to explain that to me.
Absolutely.
Hey, District 9 swimming, Katie Riot, an independent from Montauk. She won District 9 titles in the 100 breaststroke and a 50 freestyle. Credit to her, how much she has to travel and work to compete. District 10 meet.
Credit to parents. Someone's taking her.
Someone's driving her.
That's what I always notice, especially when the younger kids, somebody's driving them.
This is year round.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it Slippery Rock a few years ago? They were swimming at the YMCA.
Well,
or is that Grove City?
Grove City.
Grove City.
Yeah, Sherbrooke swims to college, I would assume. They don't have a
And
pool.
I'm sure this Montauk, Katie has to be traveling maybe into Butler or places like that.
The sacrifice the parents make is real.
District 10 meet Gracie Olshansky of Slippery Rock High School. She broke the school record, winning gold in the 50-yard freestyle. The girls finished 4th out of 19 teams. WPL Wrestling, Tyler Chappell, Seneca Valley, he won his second straight WPL Wrestling title, taking first in the 113-pound class. Last year, he took home the gold in the 106-pound class. Pine Richland's Kellen Laffley, he took the silver medal in the 152-pound class. And now let's move on to basketball.
I want to say something about wrestling. You said something that really. I always look for the great ones in high school because they grow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like he started out at 106.
Yeah, 113.
Sometimes when you go up to 113, you're finding somebody else's. That's how great he is. Now next year he'll win the next one. Next one.
He's 33-4 this year, 96-20 in his career, and has never been pinned.
Wow, that's awesome.
And Seneca Valley, great history.
They're in
tradition.
Hershey. I think they're in Hershey.
wrestling.
They're in Hershey this week.
Yes, a lot of. So many
I watched
of our area
I
wrestlers.
watched That's what
It's hard to
I love
mention
to
them
see
all.
the state wrestling.
That's one thing I do watch in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's fun to watch.
Yeah, and I look forward to watching the swimming too.
Absolutely.
You know, one thing about the diving, I asked Maggie about her thoughts about dreaming about being in the Olympic diving. You see how high they're up in that board?
It's crazy.
It takes a lot of guts and courage to do that.
Dude pole vaulted 20 feet yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
That's over your house.
Yeah, and you're upside down when you're going
I saw
up.
it every day. I mean, you get the state track meet, you're thinking somebody has to go over that 15-foot up.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Think about 20 feet.
20 feet.
But the Ross, I'll watch the Ross because they're from Elwood.
Absolutely.
I'll watch them in the state.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see that.
Our basketball players, top scorers, boys, Michael Wells of Newcastle, 23, Michael Rupp of Karn City, 17. For the girls, Dominique Alog of Union Reimersburg, she had 26 in a 58-50 District 9 1A playoff loss. Elena Rocco of North Catholic, 15. Tori Drevna of North Catholic, 14. Now let's go to our stories of the week, and we start with the high school basketball playoffs. Boys 6A WPIAL Fox Chapel, 44. North Hills 36. This is North Hills averaging 72 points a game. You picked Fox Chapel.
George called that one, yes.
And it's the first loss of the season for North Hills. Fox Chapel's semifinal win, they hold Central Catholic to 32, and now North Hills at 36. These are scores from the 1950s. How about this play, defensive effort by them?
That's why I don't want a shot clock. If there was a shot clock, Fox Chapel does not beat North Catholic. I'm North Hills.
Yeah.
Without a shot clock, the coach gets a chance
yeah.
to say, okay, here's how we're going to win these two games. We're
not freezing it.
No, we're not afraid.
See the average.
It's not afraid.
You know, the Nukes got beat, so there had to be food poisoning or cheating. You know, they don't just lose. So now they're talking about the bottom line is you can coach a little bit, but to hold that ball, if your team's no good, you can't hold it anyway.
And every time they threw it inside North Hills to the big guy, they're two big guys. They surround 6'5" and 6'2" and made his life miserable.
They run the other one over. If they did, the colleges all do that.
And the outside shooting just wasn't good enough for North Hills.
But all year they depend on the kid inside, him and Smith.
Yeah.
And so you cut off one of the trails to victory. Now all of a sudden it goes to somebody else.
Next up now is State College 9-14. They go to North Hills.
Did you hear that record, people? District
9-14.
9-14. They beat 4-20 Altoona, who scored 18 at Chambersburg for the game.
This is what happens in football too.
Two teams in the district.
Cumberland Valley 19-7. They'll be a Fox Chapel 24-1. Now let me ask you, why does Fox Chapel get the better team? How does that work?
Well, they didn't finish that way. It's how they finish.
Okay.
Because they don't do playbacks there either. They do who beats.
All right. I just thought, mind, I thought it would be State
Cumberland
College.
Valley's where they put the state championship football game. That's going to be a ball game.
Oh, no
Fox
question.
Chapel didn't get an easy draw there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's an even game.
And they're the WPL champ.
That's an even game.
I would have thought it'd been the other way.
Well,
State College would have gone
just
to
the other
Fox
night when
Chapel.
Char Valley got beat by the girls, it mixed the whole bracket up. Now the 5s are the 6s, the 3s are the 4s. That's probably what happened.
Eddie, that point, you're doing a good job bringing that today. People don't understand the matchups. You can look ahead.
Yeah.
And you can say, oh, yes. It might be, you don't never want to lose. But sometimes, if you come in second in the WPL, you got three much easier games than you do the first.
That's crazy.
It turns out like that.
Hey, boys, 5A, Laurel Highland 60, Newcastle 58 in double overtime. And Rodney Gallagher, who had 26 points on his foul shots to finish it up and win for Laurel Highlands, their second title in 3 years, deny the Canes a second straight in their 8th in 11 years. I heard so much about this controversial call. A friend of mine said they're investigating this official. I said, investigating him for what?
CIS is investigating.
You know, when I hear people, well, he called a foul with 1.3 seconds left. You've heard me say this before. If you make the call, you're deciding the game in some. If you don't make the call, you're deciding the game one way or the other.
Why when they win isn't it an issue?
Did he get
But the
he
point
get touched?
is, when they win, they don't say, "Well, we were lucky to win the other team. There was a bad call." Why is it always when they lose?
George, I remember at the broadcast table, I think it was at the Plumbo Center. You had a tough game with Penn Hills. Troy Nunes had the ball right past me at the broadcast. He got slapped from behind. The ball, no foul called, cost you the game.
Absolutely. What do you do afterwards?
You investigate the official.
I'll tell you what you do, and the fans are fanatics, so I throw them out. But the coaches tell their kids all year. The last play doesn't decide this game.
Absolutely.
Right.
You played. I look at my kids. You screwed up 4 times in the first quarter. If you played better in the fourth quarter, we won that game.
And you missed 3 one-on-ones,
yes.
too. You didn't talk about that.
And
So
this,
that's it.
And this is history repeating itself because 2 years ago, Rodney Gallagher went to the foul line against Mars
did.
and made the 2 foul shots to win the championship then.
Absolutely. And you made the best point of all. We were talking, stars get the calls.
Stars
They
get the calls.
NBA down.
Yeah. That's like someone said one time, well, you don't call the strikes and balls the same way for Hank Aaron as you do for me and the other guys. And they said, yeah, that's right.
I did not mind that. I watched every. I didn't mind that call at all. But what I mind, I thought just 6 seconds before that, Wells got hit with the same way, and that's my biggest.
Then you have a
the
complaint.
gripe is not the foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my gripe.
it's
You
foul,
got
right.
to call both consistently.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Hey, Quaker Valley 23-0, 61 Montour 52 to win the 4A, and in 3A, Shadyside Academy, they win their first title in 23 years, 66 to 54 over Avonworth, and in 2A, Olsh won their 4th straight WPL title and a record 63rd straight game, defeating Fort Cherry 60 to 36. Olsh now ties Midland as the only boys team to win 4 straight. This was the first championship game for Fort Cherry since Marty Schottenheimer in 1961 led them to the WPIL and state championships.
Was Heapy over there?
Heapy the year before they won a WPL championship with Heapy as a coach, and then he came to Butler.
At Silver, we stopped at Midland Street.
I didn't
you
know
knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, Heapy.
Ed
yeah.
Heapy and
I
Marty
didn't know that.
Schottenheimer
Yeah.
until
Trivia question.
Until Ed died, he and Marty Schottenheimer were
Great
best
trivia.
friends.
That's why you knew Cowher was taking Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that is.
That was us that beat them, Midland. They were going
yes,
for 5.
I know
I didn't real. I mean, I knew they were, but I didn't know it was a record.
Yeah, and no shock here in 1A. Bishop Canavan defeated Union of Newcastle 58-45.
I didn't think that was the time, Pete. I'm gonna look that one up. I thought it was Semi Hill's time.
No, they didn't.
When they had when they.
Oh, they didn't win 4 weapons because Uniontown won the year before.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Fox,
Yeah, they did. Uniontown beat them.
Hey, by the way, Fox Chapel, their first championship since '77. Was that with the Nelson brothers back
Yes,
then?
yes, it was.
Okay.
Exactly. what it was.
77.
Yes.
77.
The
that was-
Nelsons.
No,
I don't-
that was
twice.
Rick
That
Keever.
was
That was Rick Keever.
That was a great player. No,
These young guys here, I got to talk to these
no.
young guys.
No,
This
I
guy's
don't know.
67.
I'm asking.
No,
I didn't know.
It was 67.
Yeah,
Oh,
67.
It was 10 years
Okay.
before.
Yeah, because they get in a big fight with St. Francis that night. I was in high school.
Yes.
Hey, District 9 2A
Thorne
boys.
Thorne.
Karn
Was the star
City
of that
advances
team.
to the PIAA playoffs, 49-46 win over Keystone. Micah Rupp with 17. Karn City 19-7. They're at Penn's Manor 20-5.
They could win that.
They could win that game.
Going back to Walsh, that winning streak. Not upsets me more than anything. George said things upset him. When you have a team like that, they got challenged by nobody. Do you understand? Like Canavan knew they were going to be great.
Yeah.
They went out and played a schedule and
Franklin.
Played 4, 6, 8
No, that's
games.
what I'm saying. So Olsh just stayed home and played all these teams and just won by 30 for every game and to act like they did something. That bothers me. Like,
Did you hear that score?
Go.
Yeah,
The
60,
final?
60,
But I mean,
It's not
36.
supposed to be in the
But
final.
that's what every one of the games are like that, though. I don't.
Akron St. Vincent's does that over there, too. They played Division II. They beat these teams in the semifinals 78-39.
Yeah, Olsh, we should say call Canavan.
Hey, we got a couple of minutes. Let's get to the girls. District 9 5A championship. Warren 46, Slippery Rock High School 34.
That's District
It's the
10.
Second,
District 10.
District 10, excuse me.
George's on fire.
Second straight year that Warren beat Slippery Rock. Next up for the PIAs for Slippery Rock, they take on Moon at home. Slippery Rock 14-9. Moon 19-5. A tough
Moon's
draw.
good.
Moon's good.
Well, Moon's really good.
See, that's the bracket that got screwed up by South
Yeah,
Fayette.
it did.
Yes, we're going to get to the 6-8 WPL, Mount Lebanon 55, Upper St. Clair 44. They avenged their only loss. The 4th WPL title for Mount Lebanon, and the 6th for Coach Dory Oldacker, who won 2
Excellent
at
coach.
Blackhawk.
Hey,
Excellent.
tell him
coach.
about his daughter real quick. Well, this is real quick.
Well, the daughters play at South Fayette. The one's coming up next
Hey,
year.
yeah.
you gotta
She was
play
off,
against her.
she was offered the South Fayette job and she turned it down. That's interesting. Yes.
Okay, and here's 5A, shock and all. Who saw this coming? I didn't see it coming. South Fayette with a young team, one senior, 57-48 over Char Valley, denying them a 4th straight title. Char Valley beat them twice during the regular season, but South
Close
Fayette
up.
played a great game.
Close.
I was
Yeah,
told.
because-
I was told that
yeah.
South Fayette would win the next 3. They got one earlier than they thought.
They thought they'd have to wait
Young
till they
team.
left.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Young team, only
Yes.
one senior.
Yeah, that
and
was
Hey,
told.
that
Char Valley
5A
was
girls
senior
stuff's
laden.
pretty good.
Yes, and 4A, Blackhawk 55, Knock 35. But here's the thing, Knock, give them credit. They led it to half, 22-18.
Knock played great.
After 3 quarters, it was 33-31 Blackhawk, and then Blackhawk
Winker
had the
got
big
hurt.
fourth quarter.
Winker got hurt.
Yeah, big difference. They
Yeah, I'd say,
22-4 run in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Next up for Knock, 21-3. They're at home with St. Mary's, 18-6.
Knock's really good.
Yeah, Knock's
I watched
very
all
good.
that whole game. That Knock's really good.
Coach is doing a great job down there.
He was the
young
boys'
guy
coach.
that played for Butler at one time. He's doing a fabulous
He was
job.
the boys'
And,
coach.
and in
the
3A,
girls.
Okay,
guys,
okay,
let me finish this up. North Catholic 48, Freedom 43. 21st WPL title for the Trojanettes. 5th in the last 6
That's
years.
not stopping.
Elena Rocco with 15 and
Yeah, I told
40.
the guys
Dream
playing
with
them, I
40.
said, don't
They're
look
all
up
back.
for the bidders.
They're all
I
back.
said to that guy with Penns Valley, whoever they play, I told my buddy, I said, tell them not to look up.
They play Penn Cambria.
That's it.
17-9
Yep.
at home, and then Neshannock 55, Olsh 31. Second straight for the Lancers. 6 for Coach Luann Grabowski. She won a couple at Newcastle. Next up, they take on Penns Manor 21-5, and pulling off the double. Bishop Canavan 59, Aquinas Academy 40. A boys and girls sweep for Bishop Canavan. Hey, we run out of time. So much more to talk about. We'll see you next week.
High school sports, community events, all of your favorite local shows are calling the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel their home. Find out everything your neighborhood has to offer on Channel 100 or on YouTube. Spirit, town pride, local communities. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Talk, home telephone service from Armstrong, keeps you connected to what matters most. Talk brings great calling features for one low monthly price. Already an Armstrong customer? Add Talk and save on your monthly service. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com for more. Armstrong, telephone made easy.
No one plans for a plumbing emergency. If it happens, turn to the experts at Armstrong Comfort Solutions. Matt Mertz Plumbing is now part of the Armstrong Comfort family. Do you have a leaking pipe, a toilet backing up? When you need a plumber, you want an honest, licensed professional. We're available 24/7. Our plumbing experts can handle any need or emergency, including trenchless sewer replacement. Armstrong Comfort Solutions and Matt Mertz Plumbing, 2 great local companies coming together to better serve Western PA.